Hey, live. This is Marriage 101 with the Gilliards.
First video.
Yo, I guess you're gonna wait a few minutes to see if anybody come on the live. But we're gonna be talking today about communication, and I think that's something a lot of marriages deal with and have struggles with, and that's one of the main things that's in the marriage is communication. So we're gonna see if anybody gonna come in. Y'all come on in on the live. Marriage 101 with the Gilliards. I got one person. Okay.
Hello.
All right. Hey everybody. Once again, we're going to be talking about communication on tonight. Again, this is Marriage 101 with the Gilliards.
Hello.
Communication. We're going to start off with the pros of communication, and then we're going to go with the cons, the things that can happen when you have bad communication. Now, my wife's trying to look at the thing to see for the questions and look at the live.
Yeah.
But the pros about communication, a lot of times when you communicate, and it helps when things happen in the marriage, you can be able to communicate. Or just say you having a bad day at work and you come home, and sometimes we come home, we got a rough day at work, frustrated, upset. So sometimes we can take it out on our spouses, but when you communicate and be like, hey, I had a bad day at work, this happened. Even dealing with stuff with finances, instead you spend money in a joint account you ain't supposed to spend. And you communicate and say, tell your spouse, hey, I didn't take $100 out for this, that. And just communicating helps a whole lot in a marriage. So what you think about, what's the pros of communication?
The pros of communication, y'all will always be on the same level when it comes down to the pros of communication. When you do the proper communication, you can't just think your spouse know everything about you. Sometimes you may do, and sometimes you may not, but it's about being on the same level. It keeps you on the same level, and it really, really cuts down a lot of the arguments. Arguments, I would say. So yes, that's the pros of communicating. What else?
Cons.
Cons.
We could still talk about some good things with communication. A lot of times, especially when you first get married and you learn to communicate, a lot of times it's good that you can communicate, because sometimes you have mother-in-laws or father-in-laws that's in the marriage, and sometimes they can influence certain things that happen. But if you're communicating together, I think it just makes things a little bit more smoother when you're dealing with stuff like that. But communication, man, without that, it's real hard for the marriage to be healthy. The cons.
Oh gosh, the cons cause a lot of problems when you don't communicate. That's just basically it, because you will never know where that person is at when you don't communicate with that person. Like let's say you don't communicate when, like, for a male, like I had to learn with my husband when we first got married, that when it came down to bills and he didn't have the money for it, or he felt like, oh, this is going to come up short, this is this, and he kept calculating everything, he could totally shut down on me. Just shut down, won't say anything. And it's just like, okay, I'm talking to you, but you're not saying anything to me. If you don't talk to me, how would I know what's going on with you?
I think with men, we just have a hard time when it comes to communicating, because it's kind of different. You growing up, certain things happen, you kind of just keep everything to yourself. So you really, is really, I had to learn how to communicate.
He did.
But man, men, y'all know when you first getting married and stuff like that, and you come into a new thing where you gotta. We had one child at the time, so we had to support a kid, and now I got a wife, and all these bills. So all these things I'm learning new, and sometimes you just don't know how to express exactly what's going on. And then for men, sometimes we don't want the wife to start worrying and stuff like that. So it just kind of, I feel like at that time it would have made things worse. You know what I mean? But now we at a place where we communicate almost about everything. Even when she getting on my nerve, like, all right, now you getting on my nerve, you need to go in the room or something.
He don't tell me to go in the room.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also what else I had to learn, and then it's about even in a silence, you still have to know your partner too. Even when all that stuff was going on and he got quiet, I knew something was wrong with him, but I had to pull it out of him to like, listen, you have to talk to me and just let me know what's going on. I really can't read your mind or anything, even though I knew that he was stressing over something else. And at that moment, I knew not to be a nag or anything and not to put more pressure on him or whatever else like that, because I knew he was the only one providing at that time, because I stayed home for the first couple of years of our marriage, like 12 years or so. I stayed home with my kids, so he provided. So I knew it was a lot on him, and for me to come and to aggravate him even more, I wasn't going to do that. I just got upset with him because it's like, I'm your wife, I'm here, talk to me, I'm here to pray with you and everything else like that. And if it's something I could do, if I need to go out and look, just let me know. Don't let everything stay on you. Let me know something. So let's look at how we could do this. Let's see how we could fix it. But if you stay quiet, then I don't know what to do, and I can't help you like that. And that's not a good thing, because that could cause a lot of things, because it make your spouse feel like you're shutting them out, and you're really not. And they not shutting you out at all. They just got a lot of pressure on them, and they really just don't know how to communicate and express what it is that's going on. What else?
Okay.
As far as communicating,
I know. Right.
I'm just trying to figure out another situation that we went through.
Yeah. But a lot of times when the cons of it, when you ain't got no communication, a lot of people end up getting divorced.
Yes.
Because like after a while you feel like the spouse shutting you out. And then a lot of times, then after they done shut you out for a while, you just build a wall up, and you begin to shut them out. Yeah. Before you know it, you ain't communicating at all. It's like you just roommates. I come in from work, you come in from work. We may sit at the table and eat. I'm on my phone, you on your phone, and there's no communication at all. And that's a lot of times what happens when people get in a divorce.
And also with that, it could cause an opening for the enemy to come in.
Definitely so.
And because you're looking for that communication with your spouse, somebody on the outside coming in and giving that same thing that you desire, and that's opening up the door for infidelity and everything else like that. So you have to be real careful with not communicating, because the right thing could be said from the wrong person, because you're searching and you're looking for that. So you have to really be careful with not communicating with your spouse. You really just, basically just, if you don't know how to express it to your spouse at first, write it down. Say, do something.
Give them a letter. Say,
this is how I'm feeling right now. Because it's important. It's very, very important with that communication. What else can I say about communication? Oh, and also he used to do this thing when he used to do this thing as far as when he was aggravated at work, and he would come in the house, and he would be frustrated, and he would yell, like, not really yell, but he would like go off on me, and I'd be like, hold up, wait a minute. I didn't do anything to you. So whoever's making you upset at work, you need to go to them and say how you feeling to them. Don't come home to me with that frustration. And that's one of the things I had to communicate to him, because that used to cause arguments also. But I had to communicate to him, and in a way to like, listen, I didn't frustrate you. Me or your kids didn't bother you. So whoever you're mad with, please take it out with them. Don't take it out with us. And that stopped a lot of arguments and everything.
All right, we have a question. The question is, household responsibilities, should that be communicated? Definitely.
Yes.
I had to laugh because I had thought about something. But definitely, so the household responsibility, because my wife a little crazy, y'all. I remember, I think I had just got from work. I've been working at Agro American. It's 12-hour shift. And she gonna wake me up because the meat's stuck in the freezer. So I was like, man, I think we did tell him the story. But she threw all the meat out on the floor.
I did.
But definitely community.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
Sorry.
I forget what we were saying. Praise the Lord.
About the
yeah,
and the responsibilities of being in the house.
Yeah, but you definitely gotta communicate. Like in our house when our kids was a little younger, when they were, not able to really do no chores, so we kind of split who gonna do what.
Not at first. No. You're not gonna do that because not at first.
I'm talking about. Go ahead.
We did not split everything at first. We didn't.
Okay.
Everything kind of went on me. And so, it was the way that he grew up. Like, his mother did everything for them. So, I think he expected out of me. But in my household, when I grew up, like, everybody had to pitch in. So, his responsibility, he thought, like, just him providing was okay. It didn't cut that. That didn't cut with me. So, I remember it was a time I used to have to communicate, like, take the trash out. That used to bother my nerves. That's the only thing I'm like, I'm a woman. I'm not taking out no trash, and I got a man in this house. I'm sorry. We not going to do that.
Yeah,
so
I didn't take out trash, y'all.
He didn't. Not at first. I used to yell all the time.
I just didn't take it out when she wanted to.
But if you see it overflowing, why should I have to tell you? That's my thing.
We got another question. It says, should the husband share the responsibility in the household, including cooking?
Depends on
if the husband can cook. Now, you're gonna be upset if you want him to cook it, then he tear up something. But I know how to cook. I grew up. My mama taught. That's one of the main things we learned how to do.
But you ain't cook all the time.
I ain't cook all the time. I'll be honest. I felt like, hey, if I working,
he was not cooking.
I ain't cooking. But now we're both of us working. Sometimes I just surprise her and go ahead and cook something.
Yes, and I love those surprises.
So if the husband can cook, I think sometimes just give the wife sometimes that break from cooking and just surprise her and have dinner ready or whatever. Whoever come home to be like, hey, you ain't got to worry about cooking tonight. I'm gonna handle it.
Yeah.
So, and I think sometimes that just make the wife even more happy. Surprise her with stuff like that.
And also with the chore thing, the household responsibility. Now that I'm I work a little bit more than he does right now, due to certain situations. He washes clothes. I come in the house. My house is clean. I don't even have to worry about it. So y'all have to really communicate that and set it up. Like if your spouse is working and both of y'all working, like kind of one day, hey, let's get up. Let me get up as the spouse and clean up. I mean, everything can't fall on one person. Everything cannot fall on one person. It's like you're being very considerate of that person's, like, okay, they working, they're tired. Let me surprise them with something. So now, I mean, my oldest son take out the trash, so I'm not worried about the trash no more. Dishes is done. My house is clean. He even washed the clothes. I rarely have to wash clothes because he washes and folds the clothes. So I don't have to do none of that because I'm working out. But when I wasn't working, all that stuff was done before he got home. Even though, granted, when you walk in the door, because we got 4 kids, it didn't look like it, but we clean up. But so it depends. Y'all establish what's good for y'all. We just telling y'all what works in our household. Like now, even when he took the responsibility of all the bills, I kind of came in line with the bills. and helped him out and took it on myself. It wasn't that he said, well, since you working, you're going to do this. No, he never said that to me. I took it upon myself. It was like, you handle these bills all by yourself all these years. Let me pitch in. There's nothing wrong if a man want to do 100% of everything and a woman do 100% or whatever. That's up to y'all household. We're just telling y'all how our household is run right now. Like, as far as how it's going. I'll help with certain bills. He don't got to worry about it. That's me. He helped with the kitchen and everything and cleaning all that stuff. That's how we just doing it right now. So
I guess you just answered. I ain't good with names. Alonda? Yeah, you just answered her question.
Okay. I can't see nobody thing.
And the next question is, what if you are single? How do you prepare yourself for communication? How do you know if, I guess he's saying if they are God sent for your life?
Okay, how do you prepare yourself? Am I doing a lot of talking?
No, you good.
How do you prepare yourself as a person that's single? That's the first thing that should be established. As soon as you start courting one another. And how do you figure out if that person is God sent? Prayer. Prayer is the only way that you're really, really going to know. I'm going to tell y'all the story. Before we got married, it was a few days before our wedding. And I was like, Lord, if this joker ain't for me, you send him away. Don't let him come around. He kept coming around more and more and more. I was like, dog.
You said 4 days. There ain't no 4 days.
I said it was a couple of days before our wedding. It wasn't 4 days, but it was a couple of days. And I mean, everything was already paid for. Our wedding was going. And I really, because I wasn't too sure. I was like, okay, Lord, let me make sure this is you. I had to really make sure. It's okay. Everybody say the man who finds a wife finds a good thing. Okay, but women, you got to pray too. I'm sorry. You got to pray and make sure that joker for you. Because if not, you're going to go through some stuff. Yeah. Unnecessary stuff. You're going to go through stuff, period, in a marriage. But you're going to go through unnecessary things when you don't got the right one.
From the man's perspective, definitely you have to pray. And how could you prepare yourself? I mean, for communication, it's just like how you communicate with anybody else. You just kind of being able to express your feelings to that person. My opinion about seeing if that's that one. You just most of the time you just know, but you really just know. You pray about it and you seek God when you get in that courtship or you thinking about getting engaged to that person. And one thing you got to realize now, you got to see the good and the bad, because now the stuff that y'all may get in little arguments or whatever, you could have go home. Now you got to stay right there. So you got to see, am I willing to put up with this for the rest of my life? And, you know what I mean? Just little things. Maybe she walk around with a bonding on her head all the time, and you like, I ain't know if I want to, you know what I mean, go every place, and then she got a bonding on. I'm just using that for example. So just the little stuff, are you willing to put up with it for the rest of your life? So them the kind of things that you look at when it's time to get married.
And you still, anybody else?
No. And I know Philip Lance had inboxed me with a question, and he kind of added one of it into here, and then another question he had is how do I wish I had where my phone at? But anyway, basically he was saying how do a godly man find a godly woman?
I guess that depends on what you think is godly.
Yeah,
I don't like that term, godly man, godly
I guess he's saying like a Christian woman or
because a person could really play that role.
Yeah,
like a person could seriously just be playing that role just to find somebody and trap them. So, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, you. Regardless if you always want to find somebody who going in the same direction you are willing to take the same direction that you're taking, because everybody ain't gonna be saved, everybody ain't gonna believe in Jesus, But one of the main things, if you want to be with somebody where y'all can build, and not so where you're tearing me down or I'm tearing you down, because it's not going to work. But if me and you
build together,
building together, got a plan of what we want to do with our life, I think all that kind of helps when you know what I mean, you quoting and ready to make that step to get married.
Yes, that goes. What else about communication? Oh, the poll. You want to talk about the poll?
The poll.
Yes, we did the poll about the who doesn't listen.
Yeah.
So this is part of communication. Who doesn't listen? They said the women don't listen. I disagree.
The men, we won. We won. We know how to listen.
No.
Listen.
Oh, no. In this match, he don't listen. And this was from the beginning. Because a lot of times I would say, Dedrick, listen, you have to do such and such this way. Do such and such that way. Well, maybe if you do this. He would do it his own way. Come back after the result came. Babe, I should have listened to you. I was telling you, I ain't trying to be your mama. I'm just trying to tell you, well, maybe let me look at it. Let me kind of analyze it. And, that's all I did. I had more time to think.
Sorry. Somebody called.
But yeah, we just, that's how it is. Because sometimes I'm a thinker. So I'm going to think through things through. Yeah, thoroughly. With him, he will be in the situation. And sometimes when you in a situation, you can't see the full picture. But I'm on the outside and I'm like, well, maybe this will work. Maybe this will work. He would not take my advice. And every time you could have banged on it, this joker came back and said, babe, I should have listened.
But listen, when it comes to listening, it depends on what the situation is, what that woman got to listen for. Because the poll was right. The woman don't listen.
Tell me your situation with me, though.
Listen.
Tell me your situation.
I can't think right now.
No. Listen, so the poll wasn't right.
Listen. But y'all, the men out there, y'all know them spouses, them women don't always be listening. Especially when it comes to time to buy stuff. Oh yeah. When it's time, listen. When it's time to do those things, they always got their own way of their thinking. What you saying, like, for instance, like you be like, all right, now things kind of tight. Spend $50. I'm just saying, and you turn around $65, $70 and spent, and then you already tell them that that's a part of not listening, right?
I'm the cheap one. I don't know where you get that from because I'm the cheap one.
Ain't no question. Go ahead.
I'm the cheap one. Now, yeah, Shawty, that poll biased and been a bunch of men. No, it was one lady who did say the woman don't listen.
No, it was a couple of ladies that said that women don't listen. So the poll was right. If you didn't vote, then that's your fault. But the men, we listen better than the women. From the poll now, from what the poll saying.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And a lot of times I can admit sometimes I don't listen or I don't remember what she said. Now before I've been a preacher, I've been a weed head. So a lot of stuff,
them brain cells gone.
A lot of stuff I'll be forgetting quick. Thank God for salvation. But a lot of times when she says something to me, I just don't remember what she said. So it ain't all the time that I don't listen. It's just like I don't remember what you said.
Because when you send a man to the store, do they always get everything that you want? That means they don't listen. See?
That they always forget.
Because they don't be listening.
You know, we got a million things on our mind. And my thing is, this is off the, let's throw in the center. Why they can't go to the store? And they want to send you to the store. They know exactly what they want, but they want to send you to the store.
We be busy.
Now that means that if you know we gonna mess up, why you wouldn't just go yourself? Or we just go together.
If y'all got any more questions before we close it out? I enjoy this. I hope y'all enjoying this.
Yeah, I hope.
Totally different for me.
Yeah. Please share and tag. Let this thing spread. Because the more questions that's asked, I think the more that we can help people, because sometimes when we come up with the topics, it might not be something that somebody is going through at the time. So when you're asking your questions, I think it would definitely help.
You got all the questions that was out there?
I hope I didn't miss nobody questions. I don't think so.
So if y'all want to inbox and let us know, y'all can inbox myself. My inbox is Kalisha Gilliard. His is Edie Gilliard. If y'all want to inbox one of us, and we will keep y'all anonymous. We will never say who you are. That's just how it is. Yeah. We're not going to even say who you are or anything. We'll keep y'all anonymous unless y'all want to wait until the next live and then let us know a question that you have on your mind. But I am excited.
Yeah, but definitely. So I know sometimes with certain questions you might be facing something, and then you really don't want your business out there, but you want the question asked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I promise you that we will not put your name out there. Never. If you inbox us, we promise that we will not do that. We will definitely keep it private. We just want to help. So I know sometimes you might not even know us. But you can inbox us and you can just put anonymous, and we will not mention your name. We will just bring the question out and discuss on that question. So,
I know, Shawty. I know.
Yeah, what happened?
She said she got to go to the store herself. She ain't got time. I know how you feel.
Yeah. But y'all stay tuned next Monday. 5 o'clock, but inbox us, man. Even if you want to leave a post on a marriage one-on-one with the Gilliards, you can do that. You can inbox us if it's a little bit more private. Like I said, we will not put your name out there if you want to be anonymous. And one thing, we are children of God. If it's something concerning like that, we definitely gonna be praying for you. Even if we bring the question out, we still be lifting you up, lifting you and your spouse up in the name of Jesus. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you.
Next Monday, 5 o'clock.
Bye.
Bye.